Welcome back to FM Storey. We're about to embark on season 15 of The Save. Somehow, last season, we ended up winning the quadruple, including the Champions League. This season, we're looking to win our 7th successive league title. Hopefully, we can keep rolling on until we manage to hopefully win a 10th in a row, which would break the record in Scotland and really truly end the dominance of Rangers and Celtic in The Save. We've had a relatively quiet summer in terms of transfers, and we do have, obviously, the UEFA Super Cup coming up as well. So without further ado, let's get into the action. We are at the opening day of the season. We're going to be away at Hibs to begin the season, followed closely by a home game against Rangers and then the UEFA Super Cup against Atletico Madrid. As we said, transfer-wise, it's been a pretty quiet summer. We've had an awful lot of offers for our players, but given the massive overhaul last summer, we decided not to accept an awful lot of them. We've sent a lot of young players out on loan early on in the window. And then Hussein Mansour left to go to Besiktas, hadn't really kicked on. And David Fernandez-Vinitsky went because we agreed last summer he could go if an offer came in, because he was really very much a second choice left back and hadn't really developed either. And then Fraser Sharp has left to go to Lazio. He's been out on loan the last couple of seasons, hadn't really hit the ground running at all at any point, and never really threatened to be a regular starter for us. And then obviously some more of the younger players have gone out on loan. And then we've only made 2 signings. Firstly, we've signed Jaime Bothell from Rangers, 15-year-old, just really a promising player, but it's just we've not had an awful lot come through the youth system recently, so it's just to try and see if we can find some decent players coming through. And then having sold Fernandez-Vinitsky, we needed another left back because we only had Thibaut. We then went and raided Rangers for the player who was left back in the Media Dream team, picked up Ricard Alvarez, Spanish, had 1 season at Rangers after being at Real Betis. And as I said, he was the one that was in the Media Dream 11 at left back. So hopefully we've weakened them as well as strengthening ourselves. Looking at the season preview, we are actually now odds-on favourites for the title. I think that's the first time we've been favourites. I think there was one summer where we were favourites until we sold everyone. But in this run of winning the titles, it's the first time we've been favourites this much. And then looking at the Media Dream 11, there's only one player not of ours in that Media Dream 11. So we should be winning the title again, hopefully, as long as we don't do anything stupid and don't have a disastrous run of form. We should have more than enough to see us through. Interestingly, Celtic changed their manager during the summer. Wayne Rooney got sacked in April, and Gary O'Neill has come in to replace him as Celtic manager. And then in terms of what the board are expecting, so they want us to be competitive in the Champions League, which doesn't really have a defined outcome. They want us to win the UEFA Super Cup, so we're going to have to beat Atletico Madrid. They want us to win the league, win the Scottish Cup, and they only want us to be competitive in the Scottish League Cup, which seems strange considering they want us to win the league and the Scottish Cup, that they wouldn't want us to win the Scottish League Cup, but that's where we're at. And the training facilities had dropped off this year, so they've invested money to improve them and also the youth facilities as well. So hopefully we're in a pretty strong position to going into this season. It's time for the Super Cup against Atletico Madrid. They do have one of our former players on the bench in Lachazar Hubanov, who they've signed this summer. We have started the season well. We've played 2 league games. We won comfortably 4-0 against Hibs on the opening day of the season. And then in the second game of the season, we came from behind to beat Rangers. We've gone with pretty much the same team that started the 2 first 2 games, except we made a change at left back. Ricardo Alvarez is coming in for his first start. Tebow's dropped to the bench. And hopefully we can pick up another trophy to start the season off well. So we're going 4-2-3-1. They're going 4-4-2. They've got Xavi Simons still in the middle of that team. Right, they've got to throw deep in our half. They've worked the ball towards the box, into the box, and couldn't keep the shot down. It was a bit easy the way they worked themselves into the box there, so we're going to have to be careful with that. Right, Alvarez back to Rackler with the throw. Back to Alvarez on this left-hand side. Infield looking for Rajkovic. He's giving it away though. And they're moving the ball out far too easily. Just popping it around past us. Making us chase the ball. And we're not getting anywhere close to getting it back. They've worked it into a space, and luckily they don't seem to have their shooting boots on, because really we should be behind by now. Right, a free kick for them. They've gone back to the keeper. We're not going to be able to nick a ball here either. But they've overrun it. Milosavljevic back to Fayet. To Milosavljevic. Infield to Goncalves, onto Cochise. This is the first of our attacks that we've seen in this game. He's tackled Lecam to Rajkovic, into Pascual in the box, hits the post, and they've turned it behind for a corner. I thought that was just going to sneak in at the far post there, but it wasn't. Rajkovic is across to take it. He goes short to Pascual, left-footed cross into Rackler, back to Rajkovic. Lecam loses it on the edge of the box. And it comes to nothing. Right, Alvarez with a free kick down the line to Pascual. Gets the byline. Lays it back for Alvarez, who crosses low. It took a deflection, came off the keeper, and then they've managed to scramble it clear again. And overall, a first half with very few chances. We've not been at the races. And we've got a few players in key positions that have just not done anything so far. Right, we've made changes in wide positions. We've brought some younger players on. We've brought Thaler on the right for Cochise, and we've brought Jordan Ash on the left instead of Pascual. All right, Rackler wins the ball back there. Ash then brings it forward down the left-hand side. He's got past his man, approaching towards the edge of the box, tries to lift it into the corner, but in the end, it was a pretty weak shot and pretty easy for the keeper. Turnbull on the edge of the box, loses out. Now they're attacking. No one's going to close the ball carrier down. Shoots from distance. And the keeper holds on to it. Right, it's played down the line. Alvarez picks it off. Turnbull into Nuevo. Gives it away, looking down the right-hand side. It comes back to him. Back to Fayet. Nuevo this time finds Thaler. Finds Simoesh. Hits it first time on the volley, but can't get it on target. We're starting to grow into the game, but if we don't do something soon, this is going to extra time. Right, approaching injury time here. Unless something does something drastically, we're heading for extra football, which, given the quality that we've seen, isn't probably what the fans want. We've got a late free kick, Jordan Ash to take it. Deep into injury time here. Lifts it forward. There's a header down. Nuevo finishes. We've gone 1-0 up right on the 94th minute with 4 minutes of added on time. We seem to have won it in at the latest. It's floated up. Fire heads it down. There's a defender very deep. Nuevo just takes the touch, fires it home. And there we go. Full time, 1-0. And we've got our hands on the first piece of silverware of the season. It is just a Super Cup. It is just a glorified friendly. But we'll take it. And that, combined with the first 2 league games of the season, it's a good start to the season. And hopefully we can continue this form on. It's the end of September. We've got one game left before an international break, and we have had an absolutely perfect start to the season so far. As we said before the Atletico Madrid game, we had a comfortable victory over Hibs in the opening day of the season, and then came from behind to beat Rangers in the second league game of the season. Following the Atletico Madrid game, we just snuck past Dunfermline in the second round of the Scottish League Cup. A late penalty from Cameron Holmes seeing us through. We then beat Hearts 2-0 away from home, and then a truly wild game against Aberdeen. We actually went 1-0 up, and then the next thing you know, going into injury time, we are 4-1 down at home. But in the end, we came out on top. João Mendes, his last game before he went out on a loan spell to Leipzig, coming up with a hat-trick, but we ended up winning 8-5 in one of the wildest games we've had in the save so far. Then we beat Ross County 4-1 away from home, another pretty comfortable victory. And then a Pedro Simoes hat-trick was enough to see us comfortably beat Livingston. Our opening game in the league phase of the Champions League was a rerun of last season's final, and we came away with a 1-0 victory in that. We then beat Dunfermline 2-0 in the league, and then we had a home game against Arsenal and came away with a pretty comfortable 4-2 victory. We were 4-0 up at half-time. They got a couple of late goals back, but it was always going to be too little, too late for them. Because we beat Dunfermline in the second round of the Scottish League Cup, we've got Hibs coming up in the quarter-final of the League Cup. And things are going pretty well. Obviously, we're 2 from 2 in the Champions League. We're 7 from 7 in the league, 21 points. We're 8 points clear of Aberdeen, who were sat in second position. Rangers have got a game in hand in fourth, but they're 9 points behind us. Celtic are already 11 points behind. So we are doing pretty well here. Next up, we've got a game against St Johnstone, who are second bottom. They've picked up 2 victories this season against Livingston, who are bottom, and against Kilmarnock. So hopefully we can put an end to this first spell just before the international break, keep with a 100% record, and just go into that break flying high. So this is the side we're going into for the St Johnstone game. We have made a few changes just to rest some players, because we've got some players that are struggling fitness-wise after the start of the season. So we've gone with the centre-half pairing of Bordes and Thibault. And we've gone with Jordan Ash off the left. And Pedro Simoes is one of the ones that's really kind of struggling fitness-wise. So Cameron Holmes getting the start through the middle. Hopefully we have enough to get the victory with this team we've picked to start. But we do have plenty of firepower on the bench if we do need to change things up. So we're going 4-2-3-1. They're going 4-4-2. A free kick from Cochise to the back post. Lacam nods it down. Bordes is there to prod home. We're going to get a VAR check, because I think they're probably going to want to check Lacam and Bordes to see if they were both onside. It looks like it's getting disallowed. So Cochise swings the cross in, Lacam gets his head on it, and Bordes is fractionally offside. Alright, Alvarez with the throw. It's into Jordan Ash, approaching the edge of the area. Lovely ball into home. He goes backwards though to Bordes, out to Milosavljevic, Lacam, Goncalves, Nuevo looks for Cochise, it's cut out. The keeper goes long. Bordes wins a header. Goncalves down to Milosavljevic, and Bordes again into Lacam, bringing it forward, out to Ash in acres of space. He cuts in on his right, he takes the deflection, the header's then turned behind by the keeper, and we've got a corner that Cochise is going to take off from this right hand side. He swings it into the near post, it's headed up in the air. Goncalves across Ash to Alvarez, and his efforts turn behind for a corner on the other side. Cochise is across to take this one. drives it to the near post. It's flicked on by Home, and the keeper probably should have done better there. It didn't look like a powerful header. It's an outswinger to the near post. He just gets his head on it. Keeper just didn't get across. Got his hands to it, but couldn't keep it out, and that's just 1-0 up. Right, free kick about 30 yards out. Jordan Ash is standing over it. The keeper was rooted to the spot, and it rippled the top of the net as it went over. Right, another free kick on the edge of the box. He's going to look to whip it in at that near post, I think. It's Jordan Ash with a 3-man wall in front of him. And again, just over the top, ripples the top of the net as it goes over. And there we go, half-time, 1-0 up. After a slow start, we probably should be another couple of goals up. We've wasted a couple of chances. Hopefully that doesn't come to bite us in the second half. Right, Cochise with a throw. Comes back to him from Home. Telecam on the edge of the box. Bordes. Back to Thibault. Wide to Alvarez. Into Jordan Ash in the box. Squares it. And Duffy skies his shot. Right, Jordan Ash lifts the free kick over the top. Goncalves takes it down. Finishes it. We're going to get a VAR review because he looks a mile offside once this ball gets dinked over the defence. It's a decent idea because there's no one in the centre of that defence. He's just a fraction offside. Right, Cochise for the corner to the near post. Home flicks on again. This time it comes off the bar and they manage to clear it. Right, Tala down the right. Back to King. Into Goncalves. Tala squares it for Lecam on the edge of the box. It takes the deflection. The keeper turns it behind for a corner. Thibault's across to take it. It goes for the near post. It's flicked on by Bordes, but it goes over the top of the bar. Right. Goal kick late on. They've gone long. Fayette takes it down and goes back to Riccioli. Into Bordes. Fayette looking over the top of Tala. Fayette then wins the header. Back towards Tala. Leon King then loses out on the right. And now they're attacking. This is the first time we've really seen them attack in this game. And this could be just a real kick in the teeth here. Fires the cross in. Surely that's offside. That must be offside. That's always the risk of wasting chances that we wasted, but he was offside the whole time. But yeah, you run the risk of only getting one and getting pegged back like that. Luckily, he was offside. And there we go, full time, 1-0. We were far from our floating best. I mean, if you look at that, we've had 25 shots, but we've only put 4 of them on target. Just not good enough. But the most important thing is we've come away with the 3 points. And there we are, the end of another episode, and season 15 has started in exceptional form. We've already picked up a trophy in the Super Cup. We have a 100% record in all competitions. We are 8 points clear of second place in the league after 8 games. Rangers and Celtic are down in 5th and 6th. They've both got a game in hand on us, but we're 12 points clear of Rangers, 14 points clear of Celtic already. Both of them have lost 3 games this season. As we said, we've won 8 from 8. We've got the Scottish League Cup quarter-final coming up as well. Things are going well, and hopefully we can go some way to replicating what we managed to do when we won 4 trophies last season. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.